I'm Rob. Welcome to the video. If you're watching live, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're not watching live, we talk about the news. I'm also your official YouTube vibe coach. I created that entire industry. I birthed it myself. If you're wondering what the heck is a vibe coach, well, you might have heard of people like Tony Robbins. You might have heard of people like Dean Graziosi. How do you pronounce it, Dean? Graziosi. I believe that means grift in Italian. And last week I was thinking about how, man, back in the 2005s, there were these 20-something-year-old girls all over MySpace claiming to be life coaches. And I thought, there's no way. You can't be a life coach at 20. So I created an entire new industry. You're welcome. I'm a job creator. What's up, Chief? And I created the new industry, the new position it's going to take. And this is something AI can't replace. AI cannot take your job if you are a vibe coach. So I am your official YouTube vibe coach. The first, the only so far. Maybe I should get into that selling courses thing that all these alpha males do, and I could sell a course on how to be a vibe coach. I'm just kidding. But I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you don't know, we're very sarcastic here. We joke about the news because the news is a joke. I call it newsmentary, news commentary. And there's a lot of big news floating around today. A lot. We're going to get into it. We're just going to wait for some people to show up. But Chief is already here. Chief, one of the good mods, doing God's work down in the comment section. And I say hit the subscribe button, and then it turns into the notification bell. Hit all that because I go live every single weekday here on the YouTubes. We're going to talk about another CEO down. I don't know if you heard this. It happened a couple days ago, and it happened in, what was it, South Africa? Was it South Africa? Yes, the Limpopo province of South Africa, CEO down. One less CEO on this earth, and if you didn't hear the news, I'll talk about it with you. Kevin Hawthorne, good afternoon. Timothy, good to see you. So we're going to talk about the CEO down. We're going to talk about this new distraction Donald Trump has come up with to federalize the DC police. I don't know. He's taken over the DC police. He's sending in the National Guard. But what is all of this? Is it just another distraction? Yeah, there might be implications, and this might be unprecedented. But really, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that makes you think, what do they know in those Epstein files? Like, what do they know that they are willing to take over DC federally, take over the police force? Because nearly 10% of the billionaires have died this year. Ooh. GTSY, good day. Got to say you. I don't know what GTSY is. I should probably know that if I'm a vibe coach. And for everybody who's just showing up, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I'm your vibe coach for the news. If you've seen Reddit today, you've seen Donald Trump announcing the police are under federal control. And at the same time, they're debunking his crime stats in real time. You gotta love it. Gotta appreciate it. By the way, I just want to take a minute. If you're not joined to the union Reddit, you don't have to be in a union to join it, but I want you to take a look at the oyster shuckers in South Carolina 1912. No, this has nothing to do with the Epstein files. This is from the union subreddit, and labor unions help fight so this isn't what our workforce looks like anymore. So just a little, the more you know. I can't wait till this channel gets big and I got like a whole setup. I'm gonna get that little star that shoots across the screen, and it's gonna say the less you know. We're gonna talk about the news, assembling a team, because this person said I'm assembling a team. If you haven't seen, there's a millionaire CEO from Texas, gored by a buffalo. We're gonna talk about it. Wait, where, where is it? We're going to talk about this horse-legged creature. Talk about mythical creatures. We're going to talk about her and how her net worth has went from, where is it, 700,000 to, was it 21 million? How'd that happen? She just must be a brilliant trader. But listen, if anyone really believes she's just a brilliant trader, then why wasn't she doing that before she got into politics? Why was she only worth $700,000 when she got into politics? Or I don't think she was worth that much. I think that's what she accumulated. And now she's worth in the millions. Like if these people, if the Pelosi's, if the Rick Scotts, if all these absolute demons in the Senate are so good at trading, why did they ever go into politics? You know, they would all be aces on Wall Street. They'd all be wolves of Wall Street. By the way, let's put a little asterisk. If you watch The Wolf of Wall Street and you cheer for that Jordan, what's his name? Jordan LeBelfour, whatever. You're cheering for the wrong guy. He robbed people that were doing penny stocks. Okay? So he ain't no Robin Hood. He was robbing the poorest of the people. So Wolf of Wall Street is a cankerous, rotten soul. But where was the article that I wanted to bring up? Oh, we're going to talk about Arizona iced tea. Don't do it to me. Here it is. Trump orders homeless he passed en route to golf course to leave Washington, D.C. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You're going to get some insights here that you don't often get in the lame stream media. What's up, CJ? Good to see you. Tom said hi. Yeah. Politician. Oh, hold on, Timothy. If you play chess, you'll know you bring your castles in to protect the king. And that's what's happening in D.C. Interesting. I do play chess, but I'm kind of a rogue when it comes to chess. Who's cheering for anyone other than themselves? Look out for you and your family like everyone else. Duh. Horrible take. Horrible take. Okay? Duh. When you say who's cheering for anyone else other than themselves, there's a lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of people. In fact, come to think of it, that's how we got here. That's how civilization got here. Because people weren't just going, well, I'm just out for me. But, you know, I say I'm your official YouTube vibe coach. I kind of say that sarcastically, but at the same time, we have to take moments like this to just re-examine your life. Like I like to say, go put on Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. You know that song? And then sit in the mirror, sit in the bathroom, and stare in the mirror for the entirety of that song. Because you got some work to do on yourself. Oh, here we go. Are you an Antifa? Not only am I an Antifa, but Sid the Sloth is an anti-fascist. That's what Antifa means. For you dummies out there. For you dummies out there. And I guess this is a good time before we go into the news. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe. I'm your official vibe coach. Before we go into the news, we're going to have to go over this. This is what we're looking to do, folks. Okay. We want to overturn Citizens United, codify women's right to choose, term limits for SCOTUS. I got more stuff. I saw this meme, and I have much more I'd like to add to it, like anyone over the retirement age can't run for president, get rid of the Electoral College, outlaw gerrymandering, ranked choice voting, can't read that one, return something. Sorry, you can read these, I can't. Universal health care for all, cap CEO pay. Again, some of these I would alter. Cap CEO pay 35 times to the lowest paid full-time employee. Cap congressional salary to 1.5 times their median income of the district. Ban stocks ban stock trading. Tax billionaires out of existence. I'll totally subscribe to this one. Tax unrealized gains used loan collateral. Tax megachurches. And then this one, federal minimum wage. It should be $66 an hour, but, you know, not everybody's on the same page. But there you go. There's a basic rundown for the channel for some of the beliefs. Again, I would add more and I would tweak some of these. Universal basic income, let the robots take the jobs, 3-day work week, yada, yada, yada. Whatever you can come up with, That's what it should be. And for all you grind culture 24/7 alpha male universe skibbity rismas, this ain't the place for you. Okay? You can go work 7 days a week and let your family disown you. Not the unemployed guy having a meltdown on YouTube telling others to self-reflect. Karate world champion. With a name like that, you'd think you'd have a little more common sense, or maybe it's been kicked out of your head. Zeke the Beast. I like it. Maximum age limit for all political offices. Yes. Just like you have to be this old in certain offices, we should have a max age. Just like we have a minimum wage, we should have a maximum wage. How much do we get taxed? We'll figure it out. But I'll tell you what, when I rule the world, thank you, Nas, billionaires, billion-dollar corporations will never, ever pay less than you. Like, I can't believe we have a country where Amazon, FedEx, Microsoft, I'm trying to think what else, Berkshire Hathaway, Tesla, all these companies pay less in taxes in their tax rate than working Americans. It's insane. 35 to be president, it should be 25, and then 45 cut off. But anyways, guys, remember, you can play along at home. You can fill out this thing on your own. You can add some things, take away some things, whatever you want to do. Have fun with it, folks. Remember, everything's made up. You can do whatever you want. Remember that. Where's the meme? Where's the meme I was looking for? Cripeys. I had a meme for this, guys. Hold on. Oh, this was... I mean, are you wondering why we're getting all these crazy announcements in the news lately? I mean, this is a hardcore distraction. That's not it. Where's the meme? Oh, here's the meltdown about the homeless moving out immediately. Immediately. Where is it? Jesus, guys. Jesus. All right, we're going to talk about this. But to talk about this, we need to have a baseline, okay? A baseline. So people understand where I'm coming from when I say outlaw golf courses. Now, if you're familiar with George Carlin, he was a philosopher, comedian. And he did some great work in the 80s and 90s. One of his VHS tapes, for those of you old heads, was called Jammin' in New York. It was something my parents owned and I watched religiously. And I'm going to play you a clip from that because I want you to understand something. This is a dated piece. It's older. I forget what year Jammin' in New York came out. 1992. 92 is when Jammin' in New York came out. I'm going to play a clip of it, okay? It's a little sped up just because I don't want to, get tagged for whatever. But I want to play this for you because I want you to understand the great mind, George Carlin, and his whole thought process on homelessness and golf courses.
They're left to me. I've got just the place for low-cost housing. I have solved this problem. I know where we can build housing for the homeless. Golf courses. Perfect. Golf courses.
And he said, I can solve housing for the homeless. We use golf courses.
Just what we need. Just what we need. Plenty of good land in nice neighborhoods. Land that is currently being wasted on a meaningless, mindless activity engaged in primarily by white, well-to-do male businessmen who use the game to get together to make deals to carve this country up a little finer among themselves.
All right. Now, there was another bit on there where he talks about how much golf courses take up, how much space golf courses take up in America. And he says you could do 1 Delaware and 2 Rhode Islands. And from all my research, ironically, it hasn't changed much. There was a Golf magazine article where it said, it tried to show a big map of America and what we use all the land for, and it tried to show golf as this little thing, but that little thing is still bigger than the state of Connecticut. And when you think about that in that game, especially the people who play it, I would like to think and believe that most of these people who play it claim to not believe in the changing of the climates and do nothing for renewable energies or sustainable things. So if they don't even believe in this nature that they're partaking in this game, then why don't they just put on a VR headset? Or like George Carlin said, let them do it in mini golf. Or let them go into one of those screened rooms and we'll put treadmills everywhere on the floor and they can just walk around or pretend to walk and the screens will go by them like they're in the outdoors. Because that's the future we're headed towards, folks. Let me see if I could pull this.
Need with all that land. There are over 17,000 golf courses in America. They average from 150 to 200 acres apiece. That's 3 million plus acres. 4,820 square miles. You could build 2 Rhode Islands and a Delaware for the whole.
2 Rhode Islands and a Delaware. We need to outlaw golf. We need to outlaw golf courses. It's incredible to me that this guy can go on a tirade on his way to golfing, again, paid for by you and me. Remember, he works for us. We are his boss. We pay his salary. How much money per square foot does that offer the U.S.? Interesting. I don't know. Lizard King says, you have the right to pursue happiness elsewhere. Lizard King, but we also have the right to pursue that happiness here in our pursuit of liberty. We can change things. That's why we're still not fascist yet, although this guy really wants to make it a fascist state. And there's a lot of people that love the comment section to, you know, enable that fascist state mentality. But until we get there, well, even after we get there, I'll still be speaking out against it. Last summer they were busted out talking about the hottest year on record, but we went back to 91 and 94 and found that it was almost double what they said it was. Well, you can't deny that things are changing. Go look up how many animal species have been eradicated on this earth just in the past couple decades. There was a very interesting article, I gotta go find it, about this guy. The story was incredible. This guy who was going into some jungle. Again, I don't have the story on me. I was not planning on talking about this. Everything I plan on talking about, linked down below, including the stuff I show you. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm your official YouTube vibe coach. We comment on the news ministry. But there was this article about this scientist who was traveling the jungle for something. He fell, broke his leg, and he got stuck. And he made a light blanket or a light sheet. It's something that attracts moths, right? And I'm going to find this because we're going to talk about this because it's so fascinating. And this was back in the 70s. And he had to sit in the jungle and recover for like a month before he could get out because there was no help, no village nearby. And this dude, hold on, I got to find this because this story is just incredible. So this dude, essentially, long story short, getting to the point, makes this light blanket. He stretches a sheet up, puts a light behind it so it could illuminate him, right? And all these bugs came to it, got attracted to it. And he went back, he ended up becoming someone who was like studying them, right? And he would go back and they showed the comparison side by side from his photo in the 70s when he got stranded out there with a broken leg till his photo most recently. And the bug population was decimated. Hold on, scientist caught in jungle, broken leg, moths. Broken leg. Scientist explorer Albert Lynn, is that it? No, come on. I know I have it saved somewhere. Hold on, broken leg. Bug population decimated. Let's see it. This is it. Come on. I hate this AI junk. Daniel Jansen, a prominent ecologist studying insects in Costa Rica. Daniel suffered a serious injury to his rib cage. That's what it was. During his recovery, he observed the insect life. Hold on. The Guardian. Is this it? Is this, Yes, this is it. Oh my God, I found it. TheGuardian.com. It's the story of Daniel Jansen. He's been monitoring insects since the 1970s in Costa Rica. That's where it was. He says the biodiversity crash, even in pristine environments, so no light pollution, no humans getting into the environment. Good God, I got to show you this picture. I will link because they have his pictures from 1984 and they compare it with his photos. Where's this photo? Oh wait. Sorry, it was a slide. 1984 to look, and you can do the slide thing to 2019, and you can see the decimation of the population. Again, we're talking about climate for those, but it's a fascinating story. Okay. But we were listening to George Carlin, if you don't know who he is, great philosopher, amazing comic, and his solution to homelessness here in America, we get rid of golf courses and we turn them into housing solutions, which is a brilliant idea, but why don't we go a step further and outlaw golf courses? Don't you think it's absolutely callous and heinous for the man who's supposed to represent all Americans while he's driving to the golf course to play golf with our money that we are paying for? We're paying for him to go there, paying for his gas. We are paying for all of his accoutrements. We're paying for his caddy who chucks the ball behind when this fat turd, whacks it where they can't find it. So we're paying for that. And all he can think about is when I'm passing the homeless, I demand they leave the U.S. Capitol or face eviction, and vows to use officers to make arrests. Number one, this is a distraction, right? Release the files. This is a huge distraction. This is hey, let's see how long this will last. Release the files. That's all this is, because when they were playing some of his, I don't know what he was doing. He loves to get on TV and talk. They were showing the crime stats for DC. You can see overall violent crime in the U.S. down, what was that, 4.5%. In DC down 26%. In the U.S., homicide down 14.9%. DC down 12%. Robbery down 8.9% and down 28%. So he's making stuff up, folks, like fascists do. It's amazing that nobody talks about the real robberies, the wage theft. Go look that up if you want to dive down a rabbit hole. So while he's doing that, this was one of the memes I was looking for. So while this guy's, filling your guff buckets with a bunch of sludge, he's giving you that AI slop. At least, what was it, MSNBC? Yeah, MSNBC is at least showing you the real stats. In real time, it's the miracle of technology, folks. In real time, they're fact-checking this dumb fat liar who works for us. And let me tell you, I would have liked to have fired him day 2. Being a dictator, up 1,000%. Reese Wilson, great comment. Being a dictator has risen 1,000% here in America. John Fendley, you're the sludge. Okay. Start your own business so you could critique yourself. Billy, shut the fuck up. How about that? Fear Fascism 2028. Yeah. And if you're new here, capitalism. How many folks has a crackhead paying their salary? Well, high speed, low drag. Let me tell you something. If you have this guy paying your salary, he's basically a crackhead. He's admitted that he's on Special K, and we've seen this motherfucker jump around a lot. So, if you work for Tesla, I'm assuming that's what whoever said that. Low speed, low drag. That's got to be a drag queen account, which solidarity to you. We support you. But look at this. Elon Musk, now officially worth $405 billion. Projected to become the first trillionaire by 2027. And you have people in the chat poo-pooing on the most vulnerable, people without homes, people who are losing their health care, people who work 40 hours a week and can't afford rent or a house or higher education or healthcare bills. And we have people here in the chat. Just know if you're one of those people, you have a lot of self-reflection to do. You understand me? You're not a good person if you can defend somebody becoming a trillionaire while there are kids with disabilities who are fighting through court systems against United Healthcare to get a new wheelchair, and they get dragged out. That's why it was the denied, defend, depose, because these healthcare systems or profit makers, these gatekeepers, these CEOs have infinite lawyer time to tie up the courts, and they hope people drop out. By the way, that reminds me, guys, everything isn't bad news in the news today, okay? Blind Oni, what's your green screen? It's not a green screen. It's the magic of technology. No green screen, folks. Look at that. No green screen. I'm a wizard. No, I'm just kidding. I'm your official YouTube vibe coach. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I do a live stream every single weekday. Jesus. How do I put up with you? Well, actually, I'm just kidding. I love some of you. And who put that comment? Hold on. Who put that comment? Thank you, CJ Timothy. Who was that? Put the comment. Sorry, you're just going to have to deal with this. I want to go back because that was a funny comment. Okay, I lost it. But whoever said fascism up 1,000%. I love people. Elon is employing a few thousand people who can buy their needs. Most employers are better than a few. Michael Warlick, 100% wrong. Elon is firing people who try to start unions at their work because he doesn't provide, I forget if it was heat or AC. And that happened locally. You can look up, what was it, the Piedmont, California Tesla factory and how they treated black folks there. So stop bootlicking for Elon Musk. He's a racist, Nazi, piece of shit who is an illegal immigrant, and he should be deported by ICE back to South Africa. He's the only motherfucker I'll say, go back to Africa. Okay? So, Michael, reevaluate your life. Come again. Thank you. Try again. Negan, I'm glad you said that. Socialism's never worked anywhere. You fucking dummies. Some of you are so stupid that it just shows, you know? That's why I had to bring this book down here today. I need you to read this book and then report back when you're done reading it. It will explain how the US and the CIA have undermined every socialist effort in the world. And if you want to look at Cuba, they already have a program where you can go to school to become a doctor for free. They have a lung cancer vaccine. And they've done it all with an embargo where the U.S. doesn't allow anyone to trade for them. But again, guys, I'm not here. I didn't say I was your teacher, and I'm especially not your middle school history teacher. But there's a lot of dum-dums in the chat, and that's okay. We're here to wake you up, plant the seed, and we're going to educate you. So there's your book. Yes, get Elon the immigrant out. It's the most amazing thing. This dude is not American. Him and his brother Kimball are both featured with Epstein a ton. Like so much so that last week we went over it. Epstein had a photo of him and Elon at his house. Or was it Kimball? One of the brothers. This dude and his brother Kimball have admitted on stage, that's video recorded, you can find it for yourself, that they were illegal immigrants here in America. And they have somehow divided Americans to thinking it's good that he's using all these tax subsidies to, you know, basically keep his businesses alive, meanwhile getting himself a $29 billion pay bonus from Tesla while he wasn't even working there for the past 6 months. Stop being stupid. Random Brit enters the chat. Amazing. God, you guys are so... You guys will simp for capitalism, even when there's going to be a trillionaire. Oh, by the way, there is some good news. We're going to get to it. Good news, folks. Good news. If you love animals, there's good news coming up, okay? There is some good news. You guys will simp for these trillionaires, and it's just remarkable. Again, guys, like, these are things we need to be pushing for. And your consolidation of capital and wealth at the very top, so guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos can purchase the presidency, and then you have guys like Stephen Miller, just running amok on our streets with the authority that he has. Like, you guys simping for that isn't going to make America great again. Remember you guys said that? Remember you guys said, take America back? We're going to take our country back from who? From who, you morons? The wealthy have owned it. You elected Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump. I assume that's what the J stands for. DJT, Donald Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump. Don Taco. You elected Don Taco, who is a coastal elite. He's a New York silver spoon Nepo baby. Fred Trump gave him everything. He's never had a business that didn't fail. He even bankrupted a casino. You elected him thinking he was one of us. He's just some poor schlub that understood what the price of eggs was. He got you on that one, didn't he? He really got you guys good. Oh, but the only people we need to take this country back from, I keep seeing that on trucks and bumper stickers, and I go, there are no illegal immigrants funding our politicians right now, okay? They're not the CEOs, guys. They're not the ones, gerrymandering and pushing for gerrymandering. They're not the ones that are, helping insider stock trade. They're not the ones being paid 6,666 to 1. Well, people that work for these people who create the wealth are barely getting by. You're hearing more and more about people moving in with family, having roommates, not buying homes. The price or the age of an average home buyer has jumped from like 20-something to 30-something over the past couple decades. That is strictly because the wealth has been consolidated at the top. This big turd of a bill just gave corporations a permanent tax cut. If you're going to hurrah the old no tax on tips, well, look at the Las Vegas story. A lot of those people aren't even getting tips because nobody's visiting Vegas because you need some kind of expandable income to go to Vegas. But the only people that have taken our country are the wealthy, the elites, and they've duped you. It's the saddest thing when I see for this. These people who are divided. Kamikaze McMaster, you're not paying for his caddy. All that is part of his golf club. He owns Mar-a-Lago Club, bro. Kamikaze McMaster, I hate to be the one to break this to you. When he went to Scotland and he opened up that new golf course, you can look this up. They were reporting on it. It was costing taxpayers $10 million for him in his official duties to open a private golf course, a Trump golf course. Who pays for the president's security, protection, cars? We pay for that. I mean, it is so stupid that you really, really, I don't know if you believe that, if you're just trying to infiltrate and misinform people, but this is like not debatable. This is, clearly documented through his last term and this term, how much the taxpayers pay for his golf outings. If you think and that's the other thing, he's so corrupt that he puts Secret Service up at Mar-a-Lago so he can bill us to pay him. You understand how it works? This is corruption like 101. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with the comments. Timothy Williamson, people are paying him $1 million for dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. He also ran a thing where, like, if you bought a bunch of his Bitcoins and chip coins and Skibidi-Rizma coins, like, you had a chance to have dinner with him. And there's YouTubers who went and were disappointed that they got like a Walmart steak and didn't even get to see him. He like showed up, waved, and left. Like, he is all out grifting everyone very hard. And Blind Oni, not even counting the crypto grift, which before he took office, the night before he launched, Taco Coin or whatever it was. And just look at how that's, just go look at the crypto coin charts and you'll see what a rug pull that was. I feel bad. I mean, most people are like, these people deserve it, but I always think of the kids. I always think if these people have kids, it's such a heinous, heinous thing for these kids to have to endure. It's so sad. Jason, love all these woke Democrats. No, again, if you're new here, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. None of them. Did you guys not hear my little spiel earlier? The only people we need to take this country back from are the wealthy. Not only is Marjorie Taylor Greene, where's the article? Where's old Horselegs? There she is. Watch out, folks. Watch out, folks. But not only did she go from making 700,000 or having 700,000 to 21 million, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, a lot of these people are rubbish. They're human garbage. You know, they have used their position of public service to enrich themselves, like that one dude in the beginning of the chat said. It's like, just think about yourself, nobody else. That's how we get forward. And it's like, no, that's how society fails, you know? But no, I've always tried to position it like this to people. Right now, we have an all-red government. This is not a Super Bowl, by the way. It shouldn't be just red and blue. This is so stupid. I don't know how the people have allowed this. But they have, and they've tricked you to believe like your enemy is your neighbor. The exact opposite of what Jesus taught. They're like, yep, hate your enemy is your neighbor. They've just duped people. People are so fucking dumb. But my point is if we had an all-blue government, do you think we're getting universal health care? We ain't. I'd love it if we did. It's horrific to me that people die of medical debt, lose their homes of medical debt. I mean, it's so weird to me that us as Americans, if you understand what the science and healthcare field is, it's a collaborative effort of humanity throughout the eons. No one owns healthcare, you know? And somehow in America, we're the only country, the only industrialized, wealthy nation that has allowed CEOs and corporations to gatekeep the collective effort of humanity for their profits. We talked about it last week. They said costs are getting too expensive. We're going to kick people off their healthcare, so their stock prices stay up. Like, these people aren't worried about their rent. These CEOs are not. They don't care what the price of egg is. And somehow, collectively, there are people in the chat that just don't even think about it. And they're like, who cares? Until it happens to them. Once someone they care about or they themselves, die or get ill, and they realize what a trap this system is and how effed it is, then they start to come around. I'm trying to wake people up. I'm trying to plant the seeds and say, don't let it happen to you. We can do better, folks. All right, we got to talk about something else. Christ ain't coming back. It's up to people to stand up to injustice, moral acts, and more. Tranquility TV. I like that name. What do you do, Tranquil TV? Or Tranquilizers? Maybe that's in this story. Now, if you haven't seen this, wealthy trophy hunter killed by buffalo he was tracking. There is something in this article that is absolutely hilarious, folks. I don't know if when you read things, you apply common sense. I would assume a lot of people don't. Sometimes it's just a force of habit. My mind uses common sense when I read things. And I want to show you this. This article is in Newsweek, link down below. If we text Amazon and all the billionaires that don't pay for taxes, we could have free healthcare for everyone. If we tax, I think that's what you're trying to say. Well, here before we get into this article, who was that? Island Johnny 1. Here in Massachusetts, we did a millionaire's tax. The billionaires fought it tooth and nail, and I thought it was so funny because it was like, what are you worried about your vacation home's AC running? Like, get the fuck out of here. But in Massachusetts, we passed the millionaire's tax. It's like a 2% tax on income over 3 million. So really, you're set, okay? This is such a dumb, small tax, and these billionaires fought it tooth and nail. And after we pass that tax, anyone who wants to get a bachelor's degree that hasn't can go to community college and get that for free. And every single kid in the state of Massachusetts gets free lunch, free breakfast, free lunch, just from a 2% millionaire's tax on over $3 million. So if we just tax Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Tesla, Elon, don't let these people become trillionaires. My tax plan, my one big, beautiful, put billionaires into extinction tax plan, is anything over $999,999,099 gets taxed at 100% for the people. And if you're anti-American, you're anti your neighbors, and you just hate people, then you might be against it. Okay. But we need to tax billionaires out of existence. That story about Elon becoming a trillionaire should not exist. Who needs it? He's so irresponsible with his money. And if he really is going to be a trillionaire, why does he need our tax money to float his spaceships and cars and cyber turds? Yes, Tranquility TV. There is no person who needs to be a billionaire. 100%. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We need people like you who have a mind who can think beyond, what about me? Because you hear that a lot. We need more people coming together. Join the family, join the conversation like you have. Rumpelstiltskin asking me if I work for free. I'll tell you what, Elon Musk's didn't even work at Tesla for 6 months. He was a special government employee, and he just got approved for a $29 billion pay package. You can't tell me he earned that. But simps are gonna simp. You know, they're skibbity rizma beta boys. Okay, I really want to talk about this because this article, again, I link everything I plan to talk about down below. Hopefully you can read. I know America's reading comprehension is quickly failing, but I link all the articles I plan to talk about because I want you to check these out as well. Don't take my word for it. It's in a book. Take a look. Was that reading Rainbow? Anyways, by the way, welcome to everybody. If you're new here, I'm Rob. I'm your official YouTube vibe coach, and we joke about the news because the news is a joke. Wait till we get to this story, okay? This wealthy, what was he? Hold on. There's a wealthy guy named something Watkins. I can't see his first name. He founded and managed the Watkins Ranch Group, a Dallas-based firm trading in luxury ranch properties across Texas and other states. Now, this man went to South Africa to do trophy hunting. Here he is. Look at that picture. You know, like a anti-Steve Irwin, just hunting for the trophy of it. So disgusting. The buffalo, sometimes called Black Death, killed the 52-year-old last Sunday in a sudden and unprovoked attack. Do you read that? Did you read that? Here is the article about how this trophy hunter was tracking a buffalo. I don't know if this is the actual buffalo, but he was tracking one of these, the Cape or African buffalo. You don't get to say when you're tracking a buffalo that it was a sudden and unprovoked attack. I don't know if you guys know what, let's just look up here. I'm not even going to make it my opinion. Let's just look up the definition. Unprovoked. So you don't say lamestream media, misinformation, fake news. Unprovoked. Not provoked into doing something. Let's go to provoke. Stimulate or give rise to. Incite to do or feel something. Deliberately make someone angry or annoyed. Let me just tell you, if you are tracking one of these to trophy hunt it, you are provoking that. You are tracking it, following it. Again, I'm your official YouTube vibe coach. But I don't know if you've ever had somebody creep around you or just be in the vicinity. I'm sure this buffalo, just from the look on its face, was like, huh? I smell a Dallas turd trophy hunter following me. You do not get to say this was an unprovoked. You could say it was sudden. That's correct reporting, Newsweek. Sudden, that's how it got him. But unprovoked. Anybody that's trophy hunting, one of the most dangerous animals, sometimes they call it the Black Death. If you're hunting the Black Death, it's never unprovoked. How did this buffalo find him? I'm guessing this buffalo maybe knew it was going to be murked and instead got him first. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but this is maybe one for the good guys. He's in their territory. He's fair game for their dinner. John Q. Public, I would say the same. I would say it's not really unprovoked if you flew from Dallas, Texas to South Africa, got into some kind of SUV with a gun, and followed this thing around until you got out, became easy enough for it to go after you. Like, none of this is unprovoked. If this story said this Dallas trophy hunter woke up from his bed and a Black Death Cape buffalo mauled him in his waterbed, I would say, damn, that's an unprovoked attack. But going out to hunt this beautiful, beautiful beast, going out to hunt one of these, it's never unprovoked. Maybe put the gun down, you know, show that you're there to be friends, but you didn't. You had a weapon and tracked it. I don't know what to say, but it looks like, you know, even the buffaloes are now with the orcas in joining the class war. So this person said, I'm assembling a team. Brilliant. Brilliant. I love the internet. So I wanted to bring that news to you because it's interesting that Newsweek felt like somebody edited, there was an editor that said like, yeah, that looks good, print it, or whatever they do nowadays. You don't get to say sudden and unprovoked. I guess it's a quote, so somebody was telling them that. And in return, I would have, if I was writing this article, I would have said, yeah, okay, so they said in a sudden and unprovoked, according to a safari something, Conrad Vermack Safaris, the company that organized the trip. And I would have put an asterisk right here and said, unprovoked would have meant this Dallas millionaire was still at his home, not hunting the buffalo. Unfortunately, when you track something called the Black Death, it might mark you. Oh shoot, there's a bipolar bear. When large game animals age past their reproductive years, they push out younger males. This can negatively affect the population. Bipolar bear, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the vibe. So wait, so you mean within the herd that these Cape Buffalo, aka Black Death, are traveling in, they'll push out the younger males? Huh. So you got like rogue young males. Bipolar bear. Love your name, by the way. Bipolar bear, such a rad name. Let me know if that's what you mean. Like there's rogue. What about that is difficult to understand? No, I was wondering if you meant like, so there's rogue little groups of the younger buffaloes, which I would not hunt. I would not go after the young bucks. But I'm wondering, I'm trying to confirm if that's what you meant. I do not know much about the Black Death, the Cape Buffalo. I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't know nothing about them. But now I'm going to do some learning because I like their style. Where are they? They're not there. I like these things' style. They scare the hell out of me. These are like the buffalo that can swim, I believe. Hunting for a trophy to put on your wall is pathetic. If you're not hunting for me to survive and feed several families, it's useless. Well, I should have saved the picture. You guys seen the Trump sisters, brothers, whatevers, those guys, things, those maggots. What are their names? Eric and Turdbox. What is it? Eric and... Oh, is the other one just named Dawn, too? I think they're both named Eric and Turdbox. Anyways, Snorts and Magoo. Those guys have photos all over the internet. Them holding up leopards, which is devastating. I love the leopard. Hunting in America is now like a lotto ticket. Augusto Flores. Older Cape Buffalo will attack calves. It's the same thing with rhinos. Male rhinos have a tendency to charge almost anything that moves, including calves. Mr. Flores, though, I do know a little about rhinos, and I know that rhinos have horrible eyesight, so it's not so much that they know what they're attacking, but they're just, you know, when you got a horn and you're that big, you're going to make a statement. Oh, SDC. If you guys want to get rid of him, It's so sad. These people, these maggots, come into the chat every day just to, I don't know, show their support for Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. I don't get it. Why these maggots keep returning? Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We got to wake them up, because our communities aren't better when disabled kids don't have wheelchairs because they're denied from not their doctor, but an AI that the healthcare CEO implemented so they could take the humanity out of denying people healthcare. I don't know. I guess everybody's definition of making things great is different. Some people are like, just send in the police. For all those ice cream vendors, if you've seen John Oliver's Last Week Tonight. Jessica, concepts of thoughts and prayers. I won't even give this dude that. There was a recent study that said rhinos are not blind, they're just aggressive. Really? I hope you share that. I didn't think they were blind from what I seen, because you could look this stuff up on YouTube, and God, I understand how people thought they were unicorns a long time ago, because if you've seen a rhino, you maybe just think like, that horse got stressed, so that horse is overeating, got very stressed, lost all its hair, and that's clearly a chubby unicorn. DEI, Don Jr., Erica Vunk. The orange diaper is just that, an orange diaper. Hippos are extremely deadly. I don't even, there's a show about a hippo attack that is horrifying, and the guy survived, and he's one of them, like, Steve Irwin types, like man of the bush, or whatever they say. Do you know how much money these hunters provide to conservation efforts? Bipolar bear, I would say I don't care, because once you eradicate that animal, all the money in the world doesn't make that animal exist anymore. So for me, the point is moot. It just doesn't matter, especially when you get down to dwindling numbers. I do not care. This should be outlawed. I hate the people that do it. I think they're robbing our future generations from having the ability to see majestical beasts like the chubby unicorn. Global crop yields are down 50%. People, you better stock up. Stock up on what? Did you see? This is the other story I want to talk about. This one makes me mad. Did you see Arizona iced tea might have to consider raising its price on the 99-cent big boy can? This dude, the CEO, has kept it 99 cents forever, but because of the aluminum tariffs are gonna make Arizona iced tea do something they haven't done in over 30 years. Horrific. So I mean, what are you gonna buy, Because the aluminum is even gonna make it more expensive. Richard, AI demands a lot of electricity. With our antiquated power system, you can expect rolling blackouts. Oh yeah. Well, that's the other thing. So I want to show you this meme again. That's another thing. We got to keep adding to this list, folks. And if you have something, as long as it's not like oppressing other people or, simping for the billionaire class, which Trump's one of them. He's a coastal elite, a Nepo baby. Worked for nothing, got it all. You can tell by the way he carries himself. An egomaniac, entitled brat, But that's something I would add to this. I shared this, I believe, in my community post. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I would add that the internet is a national utility. If you need it for work, school, if you can't basically do anything without it, that should be something that the government owns. There is no private profit for this. Our tax-paying money put in the system. We are the ones that, are fronting these companies for the 5G or whatever. I don't even know, when the studies roll out that say like, oh, they didn't even do the lines that they were supposed to. That's something I would add. Low cost internet or paid for by our taxes. That's something. Jason Brazen, no, not Arizona 99 cents iced tea. Jason, you're like me. I've been an Arizona iced tea drinker since the 90s. And this one hurt. That's the dude, Don something. Don Voltaggio. You know what was devastating to me the first time I heard that this dude's like from Long Island to New York or something, and he's like never even been to Arizona. My wife just liked the the culture of Arizona, the art, and he was like never been. I was like, damn, because I always envisioned Arizona to be made on some Arizona porch, steeped by the sun. Um, so yeah, who was that? Jason? Jason Brazen. That was my reaction. No, you can always get a reliable, decent tasting, uh, good drink with the 99 cents big boy cans. Melissa Olson. Yes, the orange diaper family hasn't ever worked their entire life, but got a silver spoon in their mouth. Yep. Go look up Fred Trump. IKR. I know, right? Is that what that means? I hope that's what that means. Again, I'm an old head. I was alive when Tupac and Kurt Cobain were here, okay, folks? So give me a break with these abbreviations. I'm going to talk about this. AOL is closing down in September their dial-up. I didn't include it down below. There was too much news today. Too much news today. But I still knew somebody who had the dial-up. Okay? All right. Arizona green tea. Rodney, if you like the Arizona green tea, have you ever had the Arizona diet green tea with ginseng and sweetened by honey? It is the greatest diet drink there ever was because it's still sweetened by honey, not that stevia. That stuff tastes like plants. I can't sit in Arizona iced tea. I chugged it. Yeah, Timothy. I had no idea AOL was still dial-up. And listen, about 10 years ago, I went to a family member's house and I said, can I jump on the internet? And no joke, it was dial-up. It took maybe 30 minutes and I was like, never mind. Rodney, I'm drinking it right now. Okay, so you know the dial one? That's the only thing we purchased. It's amazing. So stock up. Listen, here's your heads up. They haven't raised the price yet, but Don, the owner, said because of the aluminum tariffs, he might raise the big, what do they call it? The big can drinks, which is horrific. See, while this is happening, I want you to understand something. Donald, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, cares nothing about you. Because instead of, caring about the price of things, he's allowing these jerks to go from 700,000 net worth to 21 million. That's his girl. He would be doing his executive post-it note. No more Congress stock trading. But he don't care about the working class. Bipolar Bear, thank you for the super chat, $5. How about you give your own money to the poor instead of giving it to Amazon? You want your cake and eat it too, Bipolar Bear. Maybe you're new. I don't buy from Amazon. In fact, a lot of my family members, they're irritated by me because I do not give my money to Amazon. And on this channel, quite often, if I tell you to buy a book, I buy from eBay. Small vendors, buy your books from eBay. Don't use Jeff Bezos. And when you go on eBay, you also have to make sure that you're not using some conglomerate secondhand seller that's just like Amazon. And then when you say give your money to the poor, Jesus says, don't be like the hypocrites out in the street, like Donald Trump holding the Bible upside down saying 2 Corinthians. So I keep my donation, my stuff private. But I would love to do some kind of fundraiser on here. I'd have to look into how to do that, but I encourage you to not, when I do say there's some people who need to read this book, go to eBay. You can find a person like you and me, Jeff Bezos, and Polar Bear. Bipolar Bear, sorry. Do you know the moment I stopped doing the Amazon stuff was, man, this might be a decade ago now. It was a long time ago. Jeff Bezos went up to space for the first time, to orbit or whatever, wore that stupid cowboy hat, did that stupid laugh, and he said, I want to thank all of my Amazon customers because you made this happen. And I was watching it live and I said, fuck no. I'm never sending, unless that dude goes to space on a one-way mission, I don't want to be part of it. So thank you. Appreciate the comment. Edward Darling, your mother dropped you on your head. Oh, Timothy, That's okay. We could give some people like, if somebody just says your mother dropped you on your head, I'm fine with that, Timothy. Just so you know, the mods, we're still working it out. We're still all new here. I don't try to get mad at that. Because listen, you can say my mom dropped me on my head all you want. Why? Because I don't want people to have medical debt. I like to make examples of comments like this because some people roam around in these internet spaces where they think being a fascist is cool, where these asshats think, saying stuff like that is funny. When I want you to get to understanding that our communities are better when people aren't suffering, and stop listening to these liars. Hold on, what is this? Yeah, this is the article. Link down below if you want to read it for yourself. But stop listening to people like this, who's telling you, I gotta take over DC, the police, and send in the National Guard because of the crime stats, and then all the crime stats are down. Okay? Stop listening to fucking liars who care nothing about your neighborhood, who did not care about you for day one, only to enrich himself. That's why he went to Scotland using your tax money to open a private golf course. Think about it. If Joe Biden opened up, the auto pen store while he was president, you guys would be having a conniption. Arlo. He started in his garage. Who are you talking about? Bezos? Go. What's the podcast on YouTube? This guy on YouTube. Yeah, go to the Hysteria YouTube channel. It's called Jeff Bezos. Everything you didn't know about his shitey past. The podcast, I believe, is called This Effing Guy. And they do a deep dive, and they'll tell you how self-made they are. And here's the thing: there are real self-made people. Well, they're not billionaires, but there are people who have done things by themselves, and those people who have struggled and suffered, they have the compassion, and not all of them, but a lot of the people who came from nothing understand what it's like, and they don't turn around and try to kick out the ladder or extort people or exploit people. And that's the sickness. America has another epidemic happening. It's called greed. And the ironic part is a lot of those people that have this sickness called greed claim to love Jesus. But Jesus didn't carry no cash. He wasn't flying around in a jet, and he didn't ask for a copay when he healed people. Gerald, stop being stupid. He didn't open that golf course with his own money. He flew in Air Force One. His security was paid for by us. He was on his official presidential duties. And yes, the Constitution also has a problem with it. But again, this is why they're not investing any money into the schools. CJ, yeah. Thank you. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Come on back because I'm planting seeds. I'm the radical woke mob that the Republicans warned you about. You know how Republicans are so tough, but they're terrified of anti-fascists. But there are some ground rules. No racism, no anti-Semitism, no misogyny, no sexism, no homophobia, no transphobia. Any of that, my moms will boot you. Luke Lance, you didn't get your Doge check? I'm about to retire because of that Doge check. Did everybody get their Doge check, right? Remember, Elon said he found so much fraud and waste that he was sending us all checks. Everybody get them? Alma, Google is free. Look it up yourselves. Some people just like to be told stuff. Like, this is why he does TV all the time. He goes on TV, rattles stuff off, but thankfully, some people are starting to fact check him in real time. I didn't even see the comment. I don't know what's going on, and I'm guessing it got deleted. Thank you, CJ, for getting that. And here's the thing, if people are going to be spewing hatred more than once, because my mods will give you 1 day timeout, come back tomorrow, try again. But if it's more than once, then maybe we'll just do bans, because some of this stuff is surreal to me, like the hatred people have towards others when they don't carry that towards the people exploiting everyone. Like, you guys got to realign your focus. There's no culture war, folks. It's a class war. Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm kind of glad because, there's no space in this in this live for that. Legal Eagle has some interesting vids on the current happenings. Floated Data 693. I love Legal Eagle. I haven't seen his stuff on in a while, but I'll check it out. You just called a man stupid just a second ago. Brief moment with Brian. I'll have a brief moment with you. You're right. If you're going to act like a Nazi or simp for these billionaires, I'm going to call you stupid. Do you not get that? That is stupid. Stop acting like it, act accordingly, and I won't call you it. You GD hypocrite. Listen, if you're going to simp for the billionaire class, you're going to get called stupid. Because it is. You know, these people, I don't know how to equate it, but like you and your boss, if you work for a corporation, your boss and you guys don't have the same wants and needs and visions. That's why he's your boss, okay? Unless he's given you a 26% raise over the past 5 years, he's made your money worth less, okay? And if you simp for these bosses, these people that exploit, who lay people off, who don't want to guarantee your health care, who lobby against us all the time, then that is stupid. Thai Life American, quote, help the billionaires. Yeah, exactly. Maggie B, they laugh at us. Well, they laugh at us and they love keeping us divided. Civil War, billionaires bring jobs. What kind of jobs do they bring? Are they jobs where you can't just work one and buy a house? Are they jobs where you're not guaranteed that health care? Stop simping for billionaires. That is stupid, okay? This whole they bring jobs, they don't. They exploit people in our country. And as soon as that gets too expensive, what do? They ship those jobs to where there aren't good labor unions, where there aren't good workers' rights. So stop. Like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop being so dumb. What are you? Dirty money. I don't think you're having the same conversation as I am, but it's okay. Google is tracking you all the time. That's right. Richard Rowland, a long time ago, back, I think even before I started this live stream, I talked about how the Google Home Nest was suspect. And then you can look this up. Google Home Nest did an update, and they made news because they sent all their nesters, I don't know what you call them, but they sent all the people with the Google Home Nest an update saying, hey, your Google Nest has been updated and the microphone or the recording device now works. They said something like microphone speaker now works. And if you know, they don't promote, there was nothing on the box about it having a speaker, a microphone, anything. So people were like, what the and when you look into this stuff, you know, I always assume, that's why I ain't got a home nest. And Amazon, you can read about Amazon buying Roomba, you know, the robot vacuum that goes around. Jeff Bezos bought Roomba. And I think from what I was reading, again, you can find this out. It's not down below. This is not what I was planning to talk about. But Jeff Bezos and Amazon bought the Roomba vacuum. And they were using it, you know, when it says, hey, see this in your room right now? I don't know. Maybe they've updated that. I really don't use Amazon much, but it used to like show you your room and you could put an image of whatever couch or I don't know what you don't buy furniture from Amazon, but they bought Roomba so they could get the data from Roomba to get your house dimensions to better target your ads for you. So CJ, I'm an effing lib, buddy. And I'm not. I'm a radical woke mob. I'm not a Democrat, liberal, progressive, Republican, any of that. I do not subscribe to this two-party system. It is absolutely rotted people's brains. People treat politics like the Super Bowl, and it's horrific. Libs stand for liberty. Okay, CJ. All right, I didn't think so. These bots coming in hot. Oh, J Money, they love to come in here. As soon as you start saying tax wealth, not work, Jeff Bezos should be taxed to be only 100 millionaire. Elon Musk should never become a trillionaire, should just be happy at being 100 millionaire. The bots come out, they come so hard. They're like, how dare you talk about my king? He worked really hard exploiting people. You can't just exploit people. Why don't you try to do it? It's like they're rubbish. They're garbage. They're spewing verbal diarrhea. Richard, month after month, you people out here are gonna see the current system collapse. Oh, we're living it. We're living it right now. We don't need to wait months. The unfortunate thing is like these tariffs, all these things, they take a little time. It's like a ripple effect. You know, it's not immediate, but you'll see it at the other end of the lake. You'll feel that ripple. And it's happening, folks. So buy all the Arizona iced tea that you can. Uh, Nick Payne. Yes. Hey, no stuttering. What? That's all, folks. We can study. Generation X with AMC and GameStop. Love that name. Hold the line, diamond hands. A tariff is really like a tax on you, on good you buy. And I don't buy much and I pay cash, so I don't pay much tax even now. That's not a good way to look at this. Just a heads up, not a good way to look at this. And when Trump starts spouting the distractions from the Epstein list, just release the files, Trump. You're all over him. Just release them. But when he starts saying, we're going to get rebate checks, number one, ask him where the Doge rebate check is. And number two, just say, instead of doing the tariffs and putting businesses, putting small business out of business or making Arizona iced tea consider raising their prices, like instead of that, how about instead of that, like, don't do the tariffs, and just let these businesses be. Timothy, very grateful for your comments and questions and support. 100%. Jessica, lols. CJ, the billionaires don't even pay the little taxes they do now. That's right. I just can't get over this, because if you look at the tax rate, the corporate tax rate for like Target is going to make $1 billion, right? Starbucks, Tesla, they're going to make, well, maybe not Tesla, but these companies are going to make $1 billion and they're going to pay a 20% tax rate, right? 20%. Most working people pay 22%. And people are in here simping for him. Can he not answer the legitimate question I have? What's your legitimate question? Jesus Christ, people. How is taxation not exploitation? Oh, is that your legitimate question? That's an easy one. Do you know what taxes are? Taxes are how our government runs. Do you know what a government is? A government is not a business. It doesn't operate for profit. A government provides services for the welfare of the people. So taxation with proper representation, which we do not have right now, it is not exploitation, because let's say the way I want things, we should get a receipt for our taxes. Hold on, let me put this up real quick. I think we should see where our money goes, right? Not to just bombs, but where are we? Universal healthcare down here. But if, let's say, we pay taxes, right? And we had, like every other wealthy country in the world, we had universal healthcare. Instead of going to a doctor, paying a healthcare, paying a copay, instead of going to a doctor and going into medical debt, instead of considering Uber instead of an ambulance when you're about to die, which this is very American, we would pay taxes, which would cover that. So that would be a net good. The welfare of our communities would be good because we paid those taxes. Right now we're paying those taxes and we're getting nothing in return. Go drive down your streets. I guarantee you there's a pothole that hasn't been taken care of for a long, long while. I'm a humble war fighter. During WW2, wasn't taxes above 200K, just tax at 92%. Imagine doing the same again. Just why the heck aren't we negotiating on you? I don't know about the Ukraine thing, but yes, for individuals back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, we had like a 78 to 92% tax rate. We should be doing that again. Thank you, Combat Kool-Aid. And if you served, so did my grandfather. Thank you for your service. It's always amazing to me when people try to call me Antifa like it's a bad thing. I'm like, my grandfather was an anti-fascist. He went to war. America went to war with fascists. It's a good thing. Nothing in return. You fuel up your car lately? Bipolar Bear. What? Importers pay the tariffs and pass it on to the customers. Thank you, CJ. Sometimes people think corporations are their friends and that Target's just going to take it on the chin. That's why Donald Trump and the CEO of Walmart, Donald Trump is like, you better take these costs on the chin. He was like, that's not how we operate. I got yachts to run, bitch. You're the slave everyone needs. Pay your taxes. We're going to raise your taxes. But guys, remember, we can reject this. We the people, that's what America was. We just got to get people thinking like, oh, hey, we can do better. This status quo, especially right now, sucks. So we need, hi from Norway, Silji. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully everything's going cool in Norway today. All right, guys. I got to wrap up in a second, but I did link the stuff below if you want to read about the unprovoked Cape Buffalo attack on the guy that was hunting it. Remember that? This asshat, another CEO down, which you can only imagine is better for the world. You know, I don't know. Again, teach their own, but this guy that went out to hunt animals just for a trophy got murked from an unprovoked. I'm sorry, if you're hunting an animal and it catches you first, it's not unprovoked. I'm sorry. So the link to that down below. This article is gatekept, but it talks about MGT, Horselegs herself. She's making 21 million now, and her stock trades on Palantir, how they made 142% or something. I don't even know. Link down below to Donald Trump wanting to take over DC federally and send in the National Guard, all to distract from the Epstein files. This is crazy. You got to think there's something nuts in there. If he's like, I'm going to take over DC, are you still talking about that? Oh, that was the other thing. Let me play this for you real quick. Oh, shit. It went away. There was audio clip saying he doesn't like or doesn't believe in his supporters anymore if they still follow the Epstein thing. So this is a huge distraction, folks. Just remember that, okay? Just remember. Arlo Ventura, good for her. See, there's people that simp for exploiting their public servant position. You know, horrible, horrible take. Absolute garbage take. That is one of the worst things ever. But whatever. The article on MTG is BS. Don't you read? Yeah, I did read, Heather. She's worth 21 million now. She made a lot of bets that are public information, traded on Palantir at just the right time. But don't you wonder if these people are such good traders, why'd they go into politics? And why weren't they this wealthy before politics? Just simple questions that we like to ask. Pelosi sucks. You're right, Arlo. She's absolutely taking advantage of her public servant position too. This is where people get confused, and I'm tired of dealing with this, but it's so sad America has propagandized you to think red, blue, red, blue. Take those fucking hats off. I'm not a Democrat. I hate Nancy Pelosi. She's a garbage human for taking advantage of her public service. Same with Chuck Schmoomer. Chuck Schmoomer's daughter works as an Amazon lobbyist or something. Like these people, that's why I say it's not a culture war, it's a class war, folks. You need to pay attention. The red and blue gives you the illusion of choice, of freedom, of democracy, but they're all working for one. That's why the Democrats didn't release the list. That's why the Republicans aren't releasing the list, because they all protect themselves. The elites are well organized, folks. Stop. You got to stop and understand that they're not shopping. They're not going to your local shops. They're not going to pizza on Friday night. They're not going to your local movie theater. We are 70%. The economy is 70% purchasing power of the consumers. We are 70%. Jeff Bezos can't patronize all the local stores in your shop. These people depend on us. And once you wake up to that, God, America's going to be better. We can do it. I'm not fighting for billionaires, then don't. And don't let your words fight for it either. Jesus. Pay attention to what you say. That's why sometimes I like to highlight these comments. Timothy, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Keep it honorable. Appreciate you, Timothy. You guys got a lot of questions. That's why I'm your official vibe coach. Listen, guys, hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Okay? I go live every single weekday. I will come back. I will help you guys see through this. Because, listen, the only thing I can assume from Vader is he's got the questions. And I love this because I don't know what his political affiliation is. Hopefully it's none. It should just be with the workers, the working class, the people. That's the party I'm for. The people. But asking questions like that is good. You know, like if the road has potholes, didn't your public service fail? So why pay more? Because they're not investing in it. Because what you're paying isn't even going to that. That's why they're laying all these people off. That's why they're getting rid of these services, because they want you to think, oh, it just doesn't work anyways. When you don't understand, it's been underfunded for years by Democrats and Republicans, and we can take it back. I'm glad you're asking these questions. These are the questions you need to ask so I can plant the seeds, and then you'll go about your day going, yeah, what the fuck? We need so much more free education. That's the other reason why education should be free. And when I say free, I mean paid for by our taxes so we can be a learned bunch. When people say America is the best, what is it the best in? Criminalizing people, criminalizing the homeless, criminalizing people with health issues, the best in making prisons very quickly. They spent $1.2 billion on a Texas prison at Fort Bliss. Like 1.2 billion of our taxpayer money on another prison. Folks, when I want America to be the best, I want it to be we have the smartest people, the most educated, the healthiest people. Our lifespan is declining, but we pay more for health care. We pay more and we're dying sooner. We are not the best. We have a lot of work to do. And for all you who say, get out of here then, why don't you leave? Because America was founded on this idea that the people can change things. That's why we had the civil rights movement, women's suffrage. That's why we had all these different movements throughout time, because people can push for better. And I encourage you to think like that. We don't do propaganda on this channel. No, we deprogram people here, okay? And we joke about the news, because the news is a joke. Did you not see? Did you not? Wait, that's not it. Where is it? They said this guy hunting a Black Death Cape buffalo was unprovoked attack. If you're hunting a buffalo, it's not unprovoked. You're hunting it. It got you first. It won that battle. Check and mate, bitch. All right, we'll end it with that. I like to play this at the end because this is one of my favorite clips.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
God rest Charles Doza. Okay, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Come back tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow with you because I am your official vibe coach. We'll joke about the news tomorrow. But the only way to do that is to get notified by hitting subscribe, hit the notification bell. I have some stories like the AOL story, a couple other things. Maybe we'll talk about those moths that have disappeared, been decimated since the 80s, and that guy who broke his rib discovered it on accident. Ton of stuff. We also have a Discord link down below and everything I plan to talk about. Link down below. Timothy, congressmen should not be trading stuff. Public servant, you can't, Jesus said, you can't serve two masters. You can't serve money and God. You also can't serve money and the people. Oh, shoot, I missed a bunch. Have a good one, CJ. Salute, much love, much respect to all of you. Be kind to each other, please. Think about your communities. Love your neighbor. Who's your neighbor? What Jesus teach us? Everyone is. Peace.